Iowa gets it probably more quickly than others because you're already in the business here with ethanol and corn, although it's raising obviously issues about food and price of corn and so forth. But nonetheless, the idea of switch grasses, developing the cellulosic materials that come out of a lot of different things other than just corn. But the idea of biodiesel, the fuels that you've also developed here in the state, what you did really, it was a great thing. I hope you're aware that your own state representative here with the power, what was it called? The Power Fund, that Nate was really one of the authors of, if not the author of it. It's made a huge difference in the state. So even on a local level, you got a better idea here, but you're getting those ideas coming all over the country. It's done. A lot of state legislative bodies are doing things like that. In the West, the thermal energy is becoming very popular. People like to tap into it, use it. But the point is, look, I want us to get away. Everybody's for the goals. Every candidate you're going to listen to will tell you we'd like to be independent, we want to deal with global warming, we want to deal with health issues and manufacturing. The question you've got to ask them is what you asked me. That's all great, Mr. Candidate or Mrs. Candidate, but tell me how you get there. And what I've described is how you get there, not here. Because in the absence of doing that, consumers, given the pressures they're under here, have to make the choices of price. And as long as the other product is cheaper, even though they know they wish they had some alternative, they're going to buy the cheaper price product here. Because they're trying to feed their families, pay their mortgages, survive in their retirement, and asking them to go out and to do the environmentally correct thing at some great additional cost to them. I'm sorry, they're not going to do it, and they can't, and you shouldn't expect them to. But national leadership ought to be able to provide the opportunity for them, because they'd like to, and it's better for them, and they know that. And I think we can do this, and I think we can do it in our lifetime. I think we can honestly make a huge difference. Not every subject you can't make a huge difference in your lifetime on. This one you and I can, with the kind of leadership in the country that would insist that every automobile, every vehicle that the federal government purchases or uses, beginning on January 20th, 2009, is going to be a fuel-efficient one and will move directly and rapidly, utilizing all the symbols here, not just Jimmy Carter turning off the lights. This doesn't have to be a hair shirt. In fact, I'll promise you a better lifestyle here by moving in these areas, a more comfortable one, a healthier one, a happier one, by doing what we're talking about here. What a day it would be to be able to say to that crowd over in the Middle East, sorry, we don't need you anymore. Hey, we've got our own energy here. We'll take care of ourselves. In fact, I tell you, now we do that, we'll offer to developing countries some ideas on how you can be energy independent, because we'll share our technologies with you. So you don't have to be dependent on them either. And you can get wealthier and afford our goods and services in the United States in the process. So it's in my self-interest to promote these ideas. But this is something you and I can do. And I'm determined to do it as president, to get out there and make it happen. Not just a speech on Earth Day here, but to make it a part of the seamless service of my administration, to see to it that energy independence is a goal that we'll begin to really achieve within 4 years. And I believe in time, in our lifetime, that we can make this planet a far healthier and safer place. And what better gift could I give my 2-year-old and 5-year-old than a planet that doesn't depend upon fossil fuels, endangering all of us and turning this place into an incinerator. So I'm determined to do everything I can to see it happens. By the way, I don't take nuclear off the table, because the other piece of this is the grid. And we haven't talked about the grid, but 53% of the grid is generated by coal. And there are various ideas on liquefaction and so forth that still are worrisome to me, because it's still producing the carbons in the environment. And I know I know all the concerns. In fact, I live about 2 miles, less than 2 miles, on the Connecticut River from the oldest nuclear power plant in the country. It's just been decommissioned, with the Connecticut Yankee Power Plant. So I have more than a passing familiarity with nuclear power. And I know there are problems with transportation and waste. But I also believe there are problems that are manageable if we get the brain power together to work on it. Today, the hardened casts minimize the dangers of the waste. Here, there's an opportunity, I think, to move towards fusion here, which would be a wonderful alternative in a way that's much safer. But we cannot take that off. You can't be serious about global warming and accept the continued use of fossil fuels to operate the grid and tell me we're going to operate with something other than that and not look at nuclear as an alternative. You can't do it with wind power and solar power. That doesn't operate the grid. So you're going to have to keep that nuclear option on the table, in my view. And if you don't put it on the table, I don't think you're really being honest about how we deal with these other issues. Okay. Long answer. Apologize.
No, that's
thank you. Spend some time on it. And again, look up on the chrisdodd.com. If you're having a hard time sleeping tonight, this will lay it all out.